hold, 3, 2, 1, relax, release. Back of the neck's lovely and long, and we're ready to start. Feet stay in parallel. We take a breath in and we sweep the arms up to the ceiling to begin. Let's look up to fingertips and stretch nice and long. And we're going to breathe out as we slide one hand up a little bit higher, taller towards the ceiling, and we soften down. Other side, we glide on up. Good, dropping down, climbing a rope, we slide and release. We slide and release. And with this one, it's almost as though you're kind of on a kind of ship climbing up a rope or climbing up rigging. We become just a little bit taller in every stretch. We've got 3, we've 2, last one, and the arms, center arms stay up above the head. We breathe out as we drop those hands around and take a twist over one side. Breath in, we lengthen, come back up through center. Breathing out, twist, rotate, coming around other side. Breath in and come up, we lengthen. Breathing out, drop down, rotate. Up through center, we lengthen. Out and rotate. We come back to the center, the arms sweep up, they lengthen, go long, go tall. And then we relax, release, and arms come down. Take a little kind of shimmy and just a little shake. Hands are going to find their wages onto hips, and we'll just take a couple of tilts at the pelvis here. So the tailbone tucks under, and we feel that that lower core kind of scoops and engages as we do that. And we're just really waking up abdominals, just making sure that we're starting to think about switching them on. And we're just playing with the kind of position of pelvis and lower back. Now we're going to look to settle just into the kind of middle position. If you want, pop hand behind the back and just check you should have just that soft arch just in there. We keep hands on hips, and we're going to start double heel raise, come up and onto toes and slowly gently lower. Okay, double heel raise, up and onto toes, gently lower. We keep control around the ankle as we come up, don't drop out at the top if we can. Good, we lift and we lower. Breathing whatever way kind of suits you here, just as we start just to warm up the body. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. We've got 5, release. We've 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. Last one, we release, relax, we drop heels down. Now from here, the hands sweep away and we send the bottom back, sinking down into deep squat. We squeeze to come up. Just test the water in the first couple of squats. And we're going to send that bottom back to the back edge of your mat. As you get comfy, as we warm up, that bottom becomes just that little bit lower. And we sink down just to whatever level feels comfortable for us, the same thing. Good, mobilizing your hip joint, we sink down and up. The bum muscles squeeze to power back up. And as we dip down, take a little peek at knees, make sure they haven't dropped in. We've got 3 as we are. Come on up. We've 2 and up. Last one. Come up. We drop that bottom back down and behind. We lift and we lower and take little pulses. Holding there, we pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and press on up to stand. Lovely work, it's lovely. Take and find a hold just of your little weight. And we're going to keep some foot work and some leg and kind of arm work kind of combined and going together. We're going to take ourselves just into our Pilates first position. So change of position with the feet. We come into that little kind of pizza slice, heels together, toes attached. Rotate the palms so the palms are in towards the thighs. And we're going to start just taking a little lift and a bicep curl and a slow and gentle lower. Lift and bicep curl, slow and gentle lower. We keep that lovely long spine, and we keep quite a lot of tension through the arms here. If we can, squeeze at the top to really feel the front of the arms squeezes as we lift, relax as we lower. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. We've got 3 here. We slowly release. We've got 2 and release. Last one, we're going to hold up top. Now we rotate the palms out. We're up and on tippy toes if we can. Hold here and we press arms up and overhead and slowly come back down. Press those arms up and come back down. Let me shimmy back again and realize you can't see where my arms are going. They're just going up and above the head. We press on up into little V. Come on down. We stay up on tippy toes. We've got 3. Come on down. We've 2. Come on down. With last one. We drop the heels. We drop the arms in and at the side. Now we have 2 options here. We can either keep a little bend and we take a little outward lift and lower. That's a slightly gentler, slightly easier of the 2. If that feels quite comfy and you want to make that a little harder, drop the palms down by your side and we're going to take a straight arm lift into the T and slowly lower. 2 options for the arms and we're going to add in the feet. We come back into that double heel raise as we glide up, arms come out and we slowly lower. We lift and we lower. Think about having those arms like a little pair of wings this evening. We lift and we lower, creating just length through the spine. We slowly lower down. Lengthen through the spine. We slowly lower. We've got 5 and release. We've got 4 and release. 3 and release. 2 and release. Last one, hold on up. Arms stay out. We drop the heels down and we lift again. Arms stay out. If that gets a little tricky, bend them in a little, out, in. Good. Lifting through those heels. We've got 3. We've 2. Last one. Arms come down and in and we give those nice little shape of roll through the shoulders and we let those weights drop down and just to the side. We come back into standing and we find just our standing parallel here. Let those arms just feel just nice and heavy. We're taking around the world, mobilizing through spine. So we're going to start by taking and letting just the right ear just drop down to the right shoulder. We let that left arm just kind of dangle and stay nice and long. And then we soften just down the side of the thigh as we relax, taking that stretch into lower back. We then just let left arm come up and over and we hold that stretch. And then we mobilize and round through the back to end up in the top of a roll up. Arms are relaxed, head relaxed, knees bend, tail tucks under. We slowly uncurl from here as we peel and come on up. Left ear drops over to left shoulder. We stretch, feel tension down into the side of the neck. We hold for a moment. Then we let just the hand and just trickle down the outside of the thigh. Right arm comes up and over and we hold. Couple breaths. And then we glide just around into the center. Arms are heavy, knees bent, and we uncurl here, peeling back up through the spine. Head last to left. If you are okay with roll downs, we're going to keep roll downs going. If roll down isn't something that suits you, we're going to take arm opening, so just hang and hold. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with our roll down this evening, and I'm going to get you just to find and just take a weight for me again. Probably no more than about 1 kilo or so. We probably just want a little lightweight and hold just either side. We're going to use the weight to help just get a little bit more of a stretch into lower back and into hamstrings. We lengthen through the top of the head, chin tucks in. We roll chin to chest. We lift and we lower, we soften at knees. And a little like an anchor in the ocean, that weight just draws us down towards the mat. Now, if we've got enough mobility that the hands then come to the mat or the weight comes to the mat, we just hang on to the weight and hold. If we've not quite made it, we just dangle as long as that feels comfortable. You can slightly straighten the back of the legs, a couple breaths in and out. And then knees bend, tail tucks under, we slowly uncurl. Peel back up through the back body, head last, so lift really engaged at the top. Breath in again, breathing out, we melt down again. If you're not taking roll up, roll down, we're going to take arm openings. And arm openings are a twist through the chest and a sweep of the arm up and over. Sweep and rotate arm behind, sweep up and over. Two options wherever you are. We're trying just to create a little bit extra movement with every repetition. We hold the stretch for as long as feels comfy. And we're using with the roll down just that weight to help create a little bit more of a stretch. We've got one more roll down in your own time if you're taking roll down. Keep mobilizing through mid-spine if you're working through arm opening. When you're ready, wherever you are with your roll up, we ease ourselves back up and into standing, taking your time, not rushing, enjoying just that restacking of the spine, the lifting of the head. We all finish just back in a neutral, eyes are open. Lovely stuff, everyone. We're ready to go, nice and warmed up. Come on down and come onto your mats now. We're going to start on all fours. So have your bands, if you've got them, and your little weights close by. And we're coming onto hands and coming onto knees to begin with. I'll just adjust that camera just so you can see me a little bit better. Now we're going to start in all fours with a little flow for some back mobility. We're going to start kind of grounding and kind of earthed on all fours. And we're really just doing a kind of cat and a camel, but we're adding in an extra little layer. From here, we're going to breathe out as we press almost the mat away. We arch the back, we tuck our imaginary tail under, and we let our head drop. We're rounded, we're arched, we hold. Now from here, we're going to keep that shape, but we're going to slide the hips back to heels to drop back into shell. Shell looks a little like a child's pose, but we're a bit more rounded through the back. And then we're going to slide forwards back onto hands. We're lifting chest, lifting tailbone, looking up and out. We then arch the back again. We tuck the tail under, head drops. We hold. Hold with that arch. Slide the weight back onto heels as close as you can get it this evening. Breath into hold. Enjoy that stretch. And then lift chest, lift tail, slide on forwards, coming up. Again, we arch the back, we tuck the tail under, head drops down, hips, they drop down and back and just onto heels. And then we slide on forwards, lifting chest, lifting head, looking up and looking down. We come back to all fours. If all fours doesn't suit you, the option this evening is to come down onto elbows, for those of you that are better on elbows. We're going to tuck the toes under here. We've got two options. Option one is we're coming into a little hovering hold, lifting the knees up and off the mat. Option two, for those of you that feel quite confident with the core, we take the hands a little bit further away. We lift through hover and we dart out and into a high plank. Bottom's nice and low and we're really strong. Two options. We're going to pyramid up this evening. So we take a breath in to prepare. Either version, we want to start off just really making sure that we feel really comfy. Breath in. Breathing out, we lift on up. Your first one, hover or high plank. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend knees, relax, release, drop on down. Little readjustment, anything that you need to do after that first one. Breathing out, second round, we come on up a little longer this time. We're going to hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release. Little stretch, just ease anything off that feels a little tight. Top of the pyramid, this hardest little point, a 15-second hold. Breath in, breathing out, come on up, let's hold, 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 hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release and lower. We're on the way down now, it will feel a lot easier now. You've got a 10 and a 5 to go. A breath in, belly button scooped in, pelvic floor engaged. Let's lift, let's hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release. And last little one, a little 5-second hold will feel super, super quick. Breath in, breathe out, come on up, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release. Slide on back and into child's pose or relax down and onto front. Head stays nice and heavy. The head hasn't quite made it to the mat. Let's stack. Just the hands up and just rest forehead onto hands. Couple of big breaths in and out. Now we ease ourselves just up just nice and slowly. We're going to stay on all fours for this next one. We have the option with this next one to add in a little hand weight, so whatever you're using for a little hand weight at home, or if you'd rather, we can do it without a hand weight. So either version will get a similar effect. We're going to come down and come onto all fours and just slide that weight just over and just into your left hand. We slide shoulders down and away from ears. We take a breath in as we open that left hand up towards the ceiling. Now we turn and look towards the weight. We've twisted and opened through the chest. And we breathe out, we control the lower of the weight down as we rotate that hand under and through and enjoy that stretch. A breath in and we open up again. Hand comes up into ceiling. Breathing out to control to feed through. A little option if you are not wanting to do this on hands and on knees is to do the same in standing, but taking the hands up and then crossing around the body. Rotate on up and cross over our body. Staying on all fours though if you're happy working there. Last one when you're ready on this side. And we come back to center and swap that weight on over other side. Other hand takes a hold of weight. Shoulders glide down and away from ears, the back of the neck is long. When we are ready, we let the hand again open up towards ceiling. We twist through chest. Breathing out, we feed the hand through and under. Breath in and open. Breathing out, feet through and under. Breath into open. Out, feet under. Two more here. And take your last opening. We control under. And we come back to center, we let weight go, and we slide back into child's pose. Now we let the hips sink down and onto heels. We let the head feel nice and heavy here. And we're going to softly and slowly walk the hands just around, just to your left hand side, so that we've taken just a little twist in our child's pose. We take a couple of breaths in and out here to really feel that stretch from lower back all the way up and into armpits. We hold wherever we get the stretch. We use that breath in to create a little bit more lengthening as we imagine we breathe into the side. We walk the hands back to center and then slowly walk those hands around and over to other side. Holding in that little child's pose with twist. We walk the hands back to center. And we slowly uncurl, coming back up and just into sitting. From sitting, we're taking yourself just down and just onto tummies. Now, if you have a little pillow, this might be handy just to give you a little bit of kind of cushioning just at the head. If you've got a kind of bigger kind of cushion, you just want to use the very edge of the cushion. And we're going to bring ourselves just flat, just down and just onto the mat. And let forehead rest on cushion so that the nose kind of feels free against the mat. And we can keep ourselves kind of down flat and nice and relaxed on our front. We are going to take arms and hands just under shoulder blades today. And we're coming into an exercise called swan dive. As you exercise, your chin will be tucked into the throat and the head will be relaxed on the head pillow. I'm just turning my head a little to the side so that you can hear me better. Now the hands that are by your side, we almost just imagine that they're resting on kind of really fragile little eggshells so that they're really resting here rather than this being an active push. This is all about working into lower back. We take a breath in, breathing out, we lengthen the head and we work, squeezing bottom a little to create a lift up and off the mat. Now you'll only have come up a little way, the chin should still be tucked into the throat, the chest, so we should still be looking down to the floor to your mat. And then we relax, release and lower and drop back down. Hands still just resting softly just by your side. Back of the neck long again, and we lift on up, coming up and coming off the mat. And we relax, release and lower and drop on down. Again, we lift on up, take a little hold, relax, release and drop down. Lift on up, hold, relax, release and drop down. If this is feeling really comfy and you want to challenge yourself a little more, lift the hands just an inch just off of the mat and we lift up actively without any support of the hands. If you're feeling that you're starting to get a little tired or any pain or pinching in the lower back, just keep it really soft and just work on a little mini lift. We've got 3 more here. And release. With 2. And release. And make your next one, your last one, lifting up. Little hold at the top. And relax, release, and we drop just on down. Flat just on the mat. We take a couple of breaths in and out. We're going to ease ourselves up and into a slightly different position just on our tummies. We're going to take ourselves up and onto our elbows and onto forearms. I kind of think of this position, we call this kind of sphinx. It's a little like you're one of those little kind of sphinx-like cats. Hands come kind of down, we rest on forearms. Now we're going to do a little version of a leg pull, which is a bit similar to the planks and the hovers we did earlier. but it's a little bit more specific for the lower core, so it will probably feel a little harder work. Shoulder blades slide down, the back of the neck lengthens, and the chin just draws into the throat. We tuck the tail under a little so that we've got a really nice engagement. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, we lift hips just a couple of inches up and off of mat, and we hold in that little hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release, and drop down. If you think about the back a little like a little banana shape at the moment, what we're doing when we lift is we're almost just wanting to kind of flatten that out to be more like a little kind of triangle. We take a breath in again, breathing out, we scoop, we lift, the back will flatten slightly, we hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release, drop on down. And we take next one as last one. We take a breath on in, breathing out. We come on up, we hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release, and drop on down. Hands slide away. We just let the head just rest on hands or on pillow. You can even just turn head to side and we take a couple of breaths in and out. Really breathe into the back of the body. There's no effort here. And as you breathe in, we really think about the body and the rib cage expanding in every direction. Let tummy kind of go completely, and as you take that breath in, you should almost feel like a little kind of bouncy castle expanding off of the mat. Last big breath in together. And breathing out. Hands that come either side of shoulders, and we ease ourselves up. Rock in through all fours, but we're going to take a little spin just around just from here. Take that little spin on around, and we find just a seat just up and just onto bottom. So we work our kind of self so that you might need to do a little kind of shimmy so that you're right and up and onto those kind of bony little sit bones right at the bottom. We have the option this evening to add in a single weight. And the reason I say a single is a double's probably going to feel pretty tough. Once we get the hang of the exercise, if you want to add in a second weight, you can, but we'll give it a go first and see what your thoughts are. If you find that the weight is a little too much this evening, just ditch it and don't need to use one. We'll still get a good bit of abdominal work. Now we're kind of sitting up kind of really nice and tall, shoulders slide down and away, and we take and grasp just either end of our little weight out and in front. A little like we're kind of using a little kind of mini steering wheel. We've got that lovely straight back to begin, and we're coming into roll back. We breathe out as we soften the lower back. We become a real kind of C shape, like a kind of curly kid. We drop on back down so that we feel tension coming through the core. You might have a little kind of shake, make sure tummy's nice and flat, and then we pull up through tummy to come back up and to sit up nice and tall. We take a little breath in there, breathing out. We drop back on down. That lovely C shape. We roll back onto lower back. We feel that core engage. We hold. And then we scoop and draw back up. Breath in. Breathing out. We soften. We drop on down. We take that little hold. And we scoop and we come back up. Now we're going to keep a hold of the weight, but just take a little moment to relax. I'll demo this one for you, and I'll turn onto camera. What I want you to imagine with this next little one is like you're sitting in a little canoe. You're going to roll back and you're going to hold, and we're going to use the kind of weight almost like a little kind of paddle down and back up to center, and use it a little kind of paddle down to the other side, back up to center, and pull on in, adding a little bit of oblique work in. So start again where we were, back up on center, breathing out, we drop down, find that sticky point where you feel those abdominals tensioning and working. We rotate down to one side, we come back up through center, rotate to other side, back to center, and we pull to come on up nice and tall. 2 more rounds here. Breath in, breathing out, we roll back, hold that little C shape, We drop the hand on down. We come back up to center. We drop down other side. Come back up to center. And we pull and come on up nice and tall. Sit bones. Breath in again. Breathing out, last little round, drop one down and hold. Swoop down to one side with a oblique twist. Come back to the other side, little oblique twist. Come back to center and we roll on up. Let the hands just kind of arch over the knees and just take a little breath in and out. Now this next and final little bit of work will really challenge the core. This is where you might feel that the weight this evening feels a little bit too much and you can ditch it. We come and we start in our same position with the hands coming out in front. Breathing out, we drop down, but maybe don't drop down quite so far. Hold once you're at the bottom, core engaged, and then we glide arms up and above the head, but just don't drop that weight. We let the hands come back down in front of the chest, and then we scoop, coming up and onto sit bones. Little breath in. Breathing out, let's drop on down and back, we hold. We glide arms up, little shake at the top, just own it, that's all strengthening. Hands coming down in front of the chest and we pull on in. And last one, dropping down, maybe challenge yourself a little lower just in this last one. We hold, arms come on up, we hold above head. We let the hands come down. And then we scoop through center, come on up nice and tall. Weight goes down and we just relax. Either knees stay bent and we hug, or we can let those legs stretch out and we just let hands kind of flop down to wherever feels comfy. We take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And we ease ourselves just up just nice. Lovely stuff, everyone. Those little rollbacks always pretty tough. Weight slide out to the side, and now I'm going to get you, if you have them in your little kind of bands, make them a little loop if you've just got a long bit of band. If you don't have a loop, that doesn't matter, we can still work without them. Shimmy kind of up and in, and we'll bring that little band up and over the thighs. So we're kind of sandwiched in over thighs. If you've got a little pillow, we're going to use that, and we're going to take ourselves down and onto our side this evening. Come on down and come into line. Slide that little pillow between your bottom arm and the head. Wherever that arm feels like it's kind of comfy is absolutely fine. If you can't get it kind of pulled straight, don't worry. If you're on a mat, we can use the mat as a little guide, but we're all going to come into the same position. If you're on a mat, slide your knees to the front edge of the mat and slide your shin bones forwards. If you're not on a mat, think about having a right angle at the hip and at the back of the knee and slide those shins and those feet forward more than you think that you need to. It's almost like we're in a little fallen chair position. Before we begin, just make sure that we kind of roll that top hip and pelvis forwards. So we've got like almost like a little plumb line at the front of the knees, and that feels perfectly straight like a little ruler. Top hand onto top hip, you press and push that hip down and away from armpits. Take a little bit of core here for me this evening. We hold just on our side. And from here, we're going to take a top leg lift and a slow and gentle lower. A top leg lift and lower. Now that leg is almost like the kind of top of a heavy book. We lift and we lower, squeezing into the outer hip, lift and lower. Really lovely. We're working outer edges of glutes. We're working against a band if you've got one, and that just adds to the challenge. Make sure the hips stay nice and stacked here. We squeeze and we release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Give me 3 more if we can. We've 2. Last 1. We drop on down. We take that leg back up. The hand that's on the top hip, slide it as though you were kind of sliding it into an imaginary back pocket. And then we squeeze the bottom and feel that squeeze underneath the fingers. and then draw the knee forwards. Squeeze and drive back. That thigh bone almost points down to the bottom edge of the mat, and we come back up. That leg stays really nicely in line. So all we should really see is just the thigh bone. We shouldn't see kind of foot trailing or foot lifting. Squeeze and come back. Draw forwards. Squeeze and come back. Draw forwards. Do 2 more. Come on in. And we've last one. Come on in. Now we're not quite done. We are going to add in a new little move that we've not done kind of virtually all together. Some of you will have done this one with me before. We're going to open that knee up and then we're going to hold at 45. So if you think about the leg lifted being at neutral, we want that thigh bone to be like a kind of slash at 45. From here, we should just see the thigh bone and we're going to push through the knee and extend that leg out and then come on in, taking your spider hips. So we push on out and we draw on in. Push on out and draw on in. The front of the thigh will work to create that lengthening through the leg, but your butts will be on fire. This is really good for strengthening around hips. We push and press out, draw on in. Give me 3 more and we'll be all done. We've got 3. Come on in, keep at that 45. 2, come on in. And we've got last 1. Come on in, we relax and release, and we are all done. Give that hip a good old rub. That's worked really hard for us. Do a little kind of pat, little rub. And we pop yourself onto backs when we're ready. Keep the band exactly where it is and take a little roll over for me so that you're coming down and you're coming onto your back. That little band is kind of looped around. If it's slid down to behind me, just draw it up. And we're going to come into a version of bridging tonight where we add a little heel lift. So what we're going to do is slide the heels a little closer to the bottom than you normally would with a bridge. If you're new to bridging, we're taking ourselves just into a really nice, comfortable position on our back. We've got space between the knees and the thigh bones look like a little number 11. Hands come down and by your side. The back of the head lengthens and it almost allows the chin to draw a little into chest. We soften just down, just at the rib cage here. We take a breath in. Now as we breathe out, we tilt the hips up towards the head. We squeeze bottom muscles and we begin to peel the tail, the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back up and off of the mat so that the bottom is lifted and we hold up top. We take a little breath in here and breathing out, we trickle the spine back down. Come back on down level by level as though you were replacing that spine back and down and the glutes relax at the bottom. A breath in again. Breathing out, we tilt at the hips, we squeeze the glutes, we roll and we peel, coming on up and off the mat. Hips lift, thumb squeezes, hold at the top. And we breathe out to relax and release and lower, trickling back down and onto the mat. And next one is the last one, we're holding up once we're up top. We tilt the hips, we squeeze, we roll, we peel, come on up top. Now we hold. Now comes that little heel lift. Tricky. And if you feel that you're going into a little bit of cramp, drop down and reset. But from here, we're going to lift both of the heels up and off of the mat and slowly lower down. If you feel a little bit vulnerable, like the feet are too far away, just walk them in a little closer and it will feel a bit easier. But we squeeze and release those heels. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Really isolated work. Thumb stays switched on. We keep the hips high. We've got 3 here. We've 2. Last 1. Heels drop down and we breathe out to trickle that spine back down. Level by level, coming all the way back down into the bottom. We relax, we release. Succumb to that band and let those knees just drop together. Couple breaths just in and out. We take ourselves from here, then just over and just onto our side. Do a little flip if you need to, but if you're set up where you can take a little roll over, that's great. Pillows come back in and come underneath head. And we find that little kind of fallen chair shape again, that 90 and 90. Hips are stacked, again, one on top of the other by sliding just that thigh forward so you've got that perfect straight line. Heels stay nicely together. Hand comes on just to the top hip so that we're lovely and long. Head's just really comfy, just down and just on the head pillow. We take our high clamp to begin. So when we're ready, we open the top leg and we slowly, gently open and close. Open and close. We're working into the outer hip. Open and close. Open and close. Really work so that we press into hip. Open and close. We've got 3. We've got 2. We'll take last one. That leg drops down. We slide the hand and the top hip in again, so we're sliding it into an imaginary back pocket. Leg lifts up and we squeeze and draw back and we slowly slide forwards. Feel that kind of bottom squeeze underneath hand. We glide on forwards. Squeeze and draw back. Slide on forwards. Good. Leg stays perfectly flat and steady. You've got 3. You've got 2. You've got last one. Leg comes back. We hold in the thigh clamp. Now we take that little 45 degrees. So look at that leg. It should be like that kind of little slash obliquely. And then we press through the knee so we glide that leg out and we come back and draw in. Press and push out and draw back in. Press, push out, draw back in. Push out, draw in. Push out, draw in. Good. Keep that really nice control. Really starting to feel it burning into hips. We've got 3 more. Keep that leg at that angle. Don't let that knee drop down. We've got 2. Push out. Last little bit of effort for these glutes tonight. Last one. Push out. Come on in. And we drop on down. Those hips have worked really hard. Just give them a good old rub, everyone. Really nice work. Couple little breaths just in and out. And when you are ready, we're going to take yourself just up and just in, just to the seat. Slide the bands from here just over and just out and just off the legs. And we take those bands out to the side to now just come just onto back. Come on to kind of back and come back down into a really similar position that we were on when we were in bridge, but we can have the option of a little towel or a little pillow in underneath the head. We're going to let just the ribs again feel as though they're kind of softening just down and in towards the tummy. The pelvis is just really nice and flat here, and our legs are in that kind of little number 11 position. We're coming in to work a little bit of core, and we're going to interlock the fingers just in and just behind the head. With the hands here, it's almost as though we've kind of drawn that head away from the shoulders, and we're trying just to tuck that chin just softly into chest. We let the ribs soften down. Belly button just draws just in towards spine. We take a breath in here to begin with, and breathing out, we let the ribs slide down towards the hips, and we curl up and off of the mat, and we slowly, gently relax, release and lower. Almost just that little kind of first bit of a sit up and then lower. We keep that tummy just really nice and flat if we can. Just watch out the tummy kind of puffing up as we curl up. Good. Breathing out, we glide up, in and lower. Out to glide up, in and lower. We've got 3, and we release. With 2, and we release. And with last 1, relax, release, and lower, and drop back on down. We hold the head just in the hands, and we just take a little moment just to relax. Breathing out, we're going to take our next little one, and we're going to peel off the mat, lift a knee, and we cross up and over towards that knee before we relax, release, and drop down. Other side, we cross up and over, and we drop down. Now we're twisting through the chest here, and it's almost as though we were trying to stack the shoulders one on top of the other. We curl up towards the knee, and we release and lower. We curl up towards the knee, release and lower. We've got 3. We've got 2. We've got the last 1. And we relax, release, and lower, and drop on down. Hands slide just up and just overhead. Feet slide out long, and we let just the tummy muscles really stretch here. We let that lower back pop up off the mat a little, and we hold. Couple of breaths in and out. Now we keep our hands over our head here, and if it feels comfy, we're going to walk the feet to the bottom kind of right corner of a mat, or what would be a mat. We then take the hands to the top right corner, so we've taken a stretch and a slide down the side of the body, and we're going to cross the left heel over the right, and we're just going to hold here. Couple of deep breaths in and out. We unfold just the legs. We let the legs walk back to the center. Hands come back to the center. And then the feet walk down and over towards the left bottom corner. Right foot crosses over left, and the hands follow. So we take just that stretch again, just down side body. We're stretching really from here, from under armpit down the way to hip. A little bit of stretch into outer hip, outer thigh. We hold and we breathe. We unfold the legs, we walk the hands back to the center. Hands to center, feet come back to center. We stretch and we lengthen the arms away. And then we just relax the hands back, just down and just by our side. We take ourselves just into our most comfortable position now in lying. So that might be lying flat as we are. You might find it a little bit more comfortable just to bend just the knees up, and the knees can rest together, or the soles of the feet can touch and the knees can drop on. Wherever we're most comfy, we can shut down at eyes. And the body feels heavy, and we ground down and into mats. Eyes closed. And with the body feeling soft and warm, our focus just becomes our breath. So breathe in through the nose, tummy lift, ribs expand, and breathing out softly, just let everything fall. Just be aware of any pockets or any areas of tension you might still be hanging or holding on to. And use the breath out to relax, release, and just let them go. Bringing just awareness just back to the body. We wriggle fingers and wiggle toes. The legs are straight, we just bend the knees. And from wherever we are, we bring just knees together and feet together. The hands, you just drop just off the edges just of the mat. And we let the knees just drop down to the right hand side as we turn to twist to look over the left shoulder. We're going to hold the stretch, and we can pop the right hand just onto the left upper thigh to hold as we hold that twist. Couple of deep breaths in and out. We then just let the hand melt away, draw the knees back up through center. We let knees drop down and just over to other side. Dropping down to left, turning, twisting, looking over the shoulder. Left hand can come onto right thigh, right versa, depending on where you are, and we hold that stretch. Breathing in to create space. Coming back just to center, let the knees come up. And we ease ourselves when we're ready, just onto the side, whatever feels most comfortable. And we ease ourselves just up and just into our seat. Coming into seat, we're kneeling, we're cross-legged. Wherever we're most comfy, legs can stretch out longer, we can pop up and onto a chair and on a seat. We interlock the hands just in front of the chest. We breathe out to press and send those hands away. The back arches, the head drops down. We slide out and hold. And a breath, and we glide the hands up and towards the ceiling as we stretch, we lengthen. We release the hands and we press the hands out just to either edge of the room. The palms, they come just to face up on the lap. The shoulders feel completely relaxed. And we let just the right ear just drop down to right shoulder. Gaze can stay soft, or eyes can stay closed. Couple of breaths in and out. And then we let the chin just soften just down, connecting chin to chest, back, the neck is long. We uncurl just up and just through the spine, the head lifts, the eyes open. Drop just down, just over to the other side, reach shoulder, we hold here. Couple of breaths in and out. Chin rolls back down to chest. And we slowly uncurl back up through center. Head lifts, eyes open. And we're all done, everyone. Thank you so much for your time this evening. We did quite a lot of work there tonight, so really, really nice.